Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're getting into a source called Modern Parables for a Better Life.
Hmm.
And these aren't, heavy theories. They're more like simple practical analogies. Mental shortcuts, really.
Yeah, exactly. Designed to give you these quick hits of wisdom for, well, all the different parts of life.
Right. So our mission here is basically to unpack this source, pull out the best bits, the ideas that might actually shift how you see things.
Things like relationships, career, money, health, uh, even leadership, and just staying mentally sharp.
Think of it like getting the key takeaways fast, but using images that, actually stick with you.
Makes sense.
Okay, so we've got this pile of insights. Let's just jump right in and see what resonates most for you listening.
Okay, where should we start? Maybe relationships and health. They seem foundational.
Good idea. The source has this analogy about becoming milk and sugar, not salt water.
Right. It's pretty vivid, isn't it?
It really is, like spending time with constantly negative people or even just doom scrolling online. That feels like drinking salt water.
Uh-huh. It doesn't nourish you. It actually kind of dehydrates you, makes you feel worse.
Whereas choosing people, conversations, even media that, lifts you up or informs you constructively.
That's the milk and sugar.
Mm.
Sweetens things, nourishes your system.
And the source really hammers this point home, connecting it to your first household.
Yes. Your first household being, well, you. Your body, your mind, your own well-being.
Okay.
The idea is you can't really build stable outer homes like finances, relationships, career, if that inner foundation, that first household, is shaky.
Because you're constantly taking in that salt water.
Exactly. You've got to purify that first household. Focus on what truly nourishes you first. That's the bedrock.
That makes a lot of sense. So building on that inner stability, let's look at career and finances.
Okay. The source talks about using a third eye here.
A third eye. For seeing the full drama cycle.
Yeah, it's about perspective. Like in investing, you see a market dip.
Mm-hmm.
The third eye lets you see it's just part of a bigger cycle, past, present, future. Same for a tough project at work.
So you don't panic about the immediate dip or problem.
Right. It reduces that worry because you see the whole arc, the whole drama, not just the current scene.
Ah, okay. Seeing the whole play. And that connects to patient certainty in finances, the compounding interest idea.
Precisely. Compounding interest. It feels so slow at first, right? Almost invisible.
Yeah, it can be frustrating.
But the source says those small, steady steps, that patient waiting, that's what builds certainty over time. The third eye perspective helps you stay patient.
So you don't make rash decisions like selling low.
Exactly. You trust the long-term compounding effect. Steady steps build the wealth.
Okay, that patient view is key. Now, shifting to attitude, staying detached from name and form in your career. What's that about?
Well, this one's interesting. It suggests seeing job titles as manager, director, whatever, as just costumes.
Costumes.
Yeah, the temporary costumes you wear to play a certain role. Your real value isn't the title itself.
It's the contribution you make.
Exactly. Focus on what you do, not the label. It helps reduce ego, status anxiety.
Yeah.
You can collaborate better. You wear the costume, but you know who you are underneath.
Wear it lightly. Got it. And where do you find the focus for that contribution? It mentions an early morning pilot slot.
Right, the 5 a.m. advantage kind of
Right.
thing. It's about carving out that focus time early before the world gets noisy.
Before the emails and notifications start piling up.
Use that quiet time for deep work, planning, learning, whatever really matters. It's like a dedicated session for clarity.
And done consistently, it compounds, just like the interest.
Exactly. Intentional use of those peak mental hours.
Makes sense. Okay, moving towards leadership. Efficiency. Serving without attachment. Avoiding the golden chain.
Ah, the golden chain. That's when you build something great, a system, a team, a project, but you become so essential to it.
That you're trapped, chained to your own creation.
Precisely. Serving without attachment means designing things others can run, delegating well, building capacity in your team.
So you build it, empower others, and then you're free to tackle the next big thing.
Yes. It's about scalable impact, not being the bottleneck.
Build, empower, step back. Okay. And finally, mental fitness. Snapping out of wasteful thoughts.
Yeah, this one uses the browser tab analogy. Your mind has all these tabs open.
Yeah.
Worries, replays of negative stuff.
Draining your mental energy, your RAM.
Totally. So the idea is to train a mental shortcut, like a deep breath, maybe a moment of gratitude, and then consciously refocus.
Like hitting close tab on the useless thought.
Instantly. It frees up mental bandwidth. Practicing this builds a more focused, resilient mind, a power user mind, you could say.
Closing those mental tabs. Okay, wow. So we've touched on nourishing yourself first, seeing the long view, being patient, detaching from labels, finding focus, avoiding getting trapped, and clearing mental clutter.
Yeah, it's striking how these simple everyday images, salt water, costumes, browser tabs, they carry some pretty profound practical advice.
Absolutely. Really useful stuff across basically every area of life. Hopefully, you listening found an aha moment or two in there.
Something that resonated. Maybe think about which one parable you could try applying, even in a small way, today.
Yeah, yeah. And just to leave you with something to think about,
Mm-hmm.
considering all this purifying the inner household, detaching from external stuff like titles, managing your own focus, what does that really suggest about where genuine power, stability, and, building that better life truly come from?